Chris here with some game-changing open-ear headphones. These are from a company called Oladance. They are their wearable stereo and they are sports-orientated. So putting them on, very easy. They just go over your ear like so. You give them a little bit of a twist and they fit into place. Very comfortable. Now the great thing about these is they've got a runtime of up to 16 hours, which is very long for this style of headphone, well, earbuds, but of course they're not the in-ear style. The in-ear style has something in your ear canal. You've got the silicone tips that give you seal. These are a lot more healthier for our ears, nothing blocking them off, and you cannot damage your ears. And because of this open ear style, they are really comfortable and great for runners. People out there that want to exercise outdoors too don't need to worry about sweat or getting them wet because they do have an IPX4 waterproof rating. Now, included with the Oladance wearable stereo, you will find a little bit of information about the company. We have a quick start guide, some tips, a Type A to Type C cable. Now, the charge time is about 2 hours for them. And then some little rubber tips that you can put on if you want to improve the comfort of wearing them. The Oladance wearable stereo fits inside this nice plastic case with a matte finish on it. Now they will sit in there with magnets that hold them into place. So when the lid is closed, it won't open up on you. It does not rattle around. Here at the front, we have a status LED. On the back is a Type C port. And the case with them inside is only 60 grams. And each of the Oladance wireless stereos weigh just 12.5 grams each. So there are magnets that hold them into place here. As soon as you open up that lid, they do start to pair up. Now the design of these and the build quality is excellent. So there's no sharp edges. They have this rubberized finish to them that's very comfortable on my skin. And here we have a little mesh there. So a filter that goes over where the driver is within this that is 16.5 millimeters. Focal port pin connector. And on the back here, we do have the Oladance logo. And this is the touch surface here. So capacitive touch controls, you slide up and down for gestures, tapping as well to stop and start your music. And the instruction manual, the user manual goes over all of those controls for it. And here you'll see that we've got this low part that is probably where the battery is housed. And this is how it fits over your ear. Of course, it hooks over. Now this material and then the actual pressure that's applied is very minimal. So they are super comfortable. And it's nothing like those bone conductor style sports headphones that, yes, of course, they do allow your ears to be open. But I do find with that style, they often give me a bit of nausea sometimes and even headaches because of the way they work, the bone conduction. And you don't, of course, get that with the Oladance. And the sound you get out of these is quite good for this open ear style. So we've got good treble, good highs, quite detailed. The mid sound excellent. And there's even a bit of bass there. Now the bass won't quite be as good as the sealed in-ears, but for this open ear style of design, it is excellent thanks to the larger driver they are using here, which is that 16.5 millimeters as mentioned. So it gives you quite a bit of powerful bass, and I can still hear ambient noises, which is why these are very safe for someone that's going to be out cycling, running, or any sports outdoors. You can hear people around you, you can hear your co-workers too if you're going to be using these in the office. And I can even pick up and hear the sound of the ocean, the waves about as well. Now the touch controls, just tapping the side and sliding up and down for the volume controls does work really well. I find they aren't hit and miss. It tends to work every single time I do tap them to pause the music, to slide up and down with the volume control is a lot better than other in-ear styles that I have used. And of course, these aren't in-ear style, they're overhead style. And with those hooks, the way it hooks into my ear like so, they are not going to go anywhere. Now, I did want to test them out with a bit of a sprint test too as well. So there's probably more chance of my wireless lav mic here coming off than these because they're hooked over my ears. So I'm going to sprint as fast as I can. And you can see they are rock solid here. They're not going to go anywhere. Certainly not going to pop off my ears. And of course, cycling, which I'm doing right now, a little bit of a test. I can hear cars approaching behind me, left or right, but of course, keep the volume a little bit lower when you're using them in situations like this riding, just so you can hear all of those ambient sounds. And like all good audio brands, there is an app and it's called Oladance. So simply installing that, pairing them up, you will get this menu right here, which gives us a summary of the battery life. You can see left and right. We've got our capacitive touch control, so you can customize this. If you don't want triple tap to be your Google Assistant or Siri, then you can simply select this to be previous or next. We've got settings there for our calls, So you can customize a single tap to be answer, a double tap to be to reject the calls, or change that if you wanted to. This right here is some set equalizer presets. So default's the one I use most of the time, 80% of the time. And when I wanted a little more bass, then we've got the surging bass setting, which of course is just boosting up the low frequencies. Pure voice, custom setting for your own personal tastes, and then our settings. So you can see here, we've got the equalizer, which I just showed you. You can set the custom one there. Gestures, showed you that just before. Auto mute options, user guide, customer service there, shutdown, and device information. So under here, they can push out, I believe, firmware updates when needed for this particular model. So it is overall a useful application. Good to have the app support. And of course, they can be used for placing voice calls. They've got built-in microphones. What you're listening to now, this sample, is being recorded directly into the timeline of my video editor. There's no other external mic. Some people seem to think I accidentally had another mic on, but no, it is definitely coming from these. You can probably hear now as I just tap them. That should be coming through just as proof that it is the Oladance Wearable Stereo. So these Oladance wearable stereos do come highly recommended. Just for the fit of them is the big one, how comfortable these really are, that you can just wear them for 10 hours, 16 hours, the full time that will last on a single charge, and they don't bother me at all. You get none of that fatigue because it's not in your ear. It's the open ear design. You can hear ambient noises. It's better for your ear health too as well, because nothing's stuck in your ears there. You can't damage your hearing either. And I like the safety aspect of them. So if you're out running, you're cycling, you can hear those cars approaching or other cyclists because you get all of the open ear, of course, sounds all coming through. It's not blocked off. There's no passive noise isolation with them. So the battery life is fantastic, up to 16 hours on a single charge. And the way they hook over my ears like this, that when you're jumping, you're running and cycling, as I've shown you in this video, they're not going to go anywhere. And you've got that IPX4 waterproof rating with them, so you don't have to worry about dust and water and splashes and sweat getting on them. So thank you so much for watching my video here on the Oladance Wearable Stereo.